Well, of course, I think that you should always talk about the standard hazards, rotating equipment, moving equipment, pinch points, things like that. But there are several topics which I do think are not addressed the way they should. The first one being mental health. I was just in a class yesterday here at the Groundwater show, and the speaker was talking about how those in the construction industry have a much higher instance of mental health issues compared to other industries. And I can totally see that. I mean, our industry can be tough. A lot of times we're on the road. It's hard to be on the road. It's hard to be away from family. And I think it's important just to talk to people coming into the industry. They're working, even if they're not on the road, they're working long hours, they're away from home. I think it's important to talk to them about mental health and have them look at themselves, look at their mood. If their mood is changing, right? If they go from being happy-go-lucky to being very irritable, that's a red flag. If they go from talking to all their friends all the time and all of a sudden they just don't want to deal with people, that's an issue. That's social withdrawal. So just to kind of get them to understand what the red flags are when it comes to mental health. And another thing is fatigue. There's 30% or so of adults in this country are chronically fatigued. And I think it's important to talk with people coming into this industry because we work long hours. Even if you're not doing shift work, a lot of companies out there do shift work where they have night shifts, day shifts. But even if you're not doing shift work, it's important to teach people tricks on eating healthy and even how to get sleep. I mean, there's tricks out there about temperatures. 68 degrees is the best temperature, about avoiding screens before you go to bed, that kind of thing. But there are tricks out there to help people get sleep because it's one of the leading contributors to incidents and accidents out there is fatigue. So it's important for these guys to understand how to get a good night's sleep, how to come to work fit for duty, rested, ready to go. Another topic I think is overlooked are the hydraulics on the drill rig. We work around these hydraulics all the time, and we get very complacent around them. I think sometimes it's easy to be standing next to a hydraulic hose that might have 5,000 or 6,000 psi going through it, and you don't really think anything about it. I think it's important to tell people how to inspect those hoses, but more importantly, that they should never ever look for a hydraulic leak using their hand. Teach them about hydraulic injection, about how a little pinhole leak in one of those hydraulic hoses can inject that hydraulic fluid into you and cause some significant injury to you. So I think it's something that's overlooked all the time, is just explain the hazards of the hydraulic systems. And then especially in our industry, I think that silica awareness, it's something I talked about yesterday in the conference, one of my classes. But I think it's so important to talk to people about silica, to explain what the hazards of silica are, and to talk about what to do to prevent them. Obviously, you want to start with engineering controls, but respirators are something that should be used out there. And it's important not to just give people respirators. They need to have medical clearance to wear them, and they need to have training on how to use them. And I just think I think those are topics that often are overlooked when it comes to new hires in our industry.